After a diagnosis of schizophrenia, things can feel, well, pretty uncertain. So in this explainer, we're going to try to cut through all that with a clear, hopeful, and really practical guide to rebuilding your life one step at a time. Let's dive in.
I want to start with these words from Lucinda because they're just so powerful. This isn't just a nice idea, it's coming from someone who has actually walked this path. It really sets the perfect tone, you know? Recovery isn't just about getting back to who you were, but maybe discovering a whole new kind of strength you never knew you had.
You know, one of the biggest questions that just pops up right away is, who am I now? And man, that question goes right to the very core of who you are. So let's hear from some people who've been there, who've navigated this exact challenge and found their way.
And this, what Marcus says here, it's just so important. He acknowledges the sickness. He's not ignoring it, but he doesn't let it define him. He's able to separate the illness from his identity. His story shows that getting back to your old self, rebuilding relationships, getting a job, it's a real, totally achievable part of recovery.
And this sketch, it just captures that journey so well, doesn't it? This is Mike's story, and you can just feel that shift toward positivity. He's learning to appreciate life again, taking care of himself, and he's got goals, like getting back to college. It's such a powerful picture of what it means to start reclaiming your future.
What I love about Linda's story is that it reminds us that recovery isn't some abstract concept. It's about living. It's about the simple, everyday things we all do, right? Going to the movies, rollerblading, just hanging out with friends. These things aren't small. They're actually the whole point. They're the fabric of a full and meaningful life. Okay, so rediscovering who you are is a huge piece of the puzzle, right? But to do that really important internal work, you need some external security. You need support. And that brings us to the next crucial step, building a stable, practical foundation for your journey.
Which brings us to social services. And look, I get it. This can sound super intimidating. All the paperwork, the acronyms, but I want you to think of these things as tools. They are absolutely essential tools for creating stability, for easing worries about money and healthcare, and for just giving you the breathing room you need to focus on getting well.
So that leads to the big question, right? How do you actually manage all the practical financial stuff? The next few slides are going to break down the key support systems out there that are designed to help you answer that exact question. Okay, let's break down the two main government income programs, SSI and SSD. Honestly, the key difference really boils down to your work history. Think of it this way. SSI is generally for folks who weren't working when they became ill. Maybe they were a student. SSD is for people who were working and had been paying into Social Security. So your work history is what points you in the right direction. I know the application process can feel like a mountain to climb, but you can absolutely break it down. Step 1 is just getting the application. That's it. Step 2, and this is so important, please don't try to do it all by yourself. The paperwork is complicated. Ask a case manager or a family member for help. And finally, step 3. Your doctor has a key role to play in filling out the medical parts.
All right, now for health insurance. We've got Medicare and Medicaid. Medicare is the federal one, and you usually get that after you've been on disability benefits for about 24 months. Medicaid, on the other hand, is a state and federal program that's based on income, and if you get approved for SSI, your eligibility for Medicaid can be immediate. They're just different tools with different timelines. Having a stable place to live, that's like the bedrock of recovery. And there are different levels of support. Supported housing gives you the most independence. You're in your own place with someone checking in. Supportive housing is a bit more structured, more of a community. And then group homes offer the most supervision, helping with daily skills. It's all about finding the right fit for you right now.
Okay, so once you've got that stable foundation in place, you can start looking ahead, Start reclaiming your future. This next part is all about finding that sense of purpose and community through work or school. And there's a key resource that can help. It's called vocational rehabilitation.
So what is vocational rehabilitation anyway? It sounds kind of formal, but really you should think of it as a state-funded partner that's designed to help you succeed. We're not talking about just finding any job. It's about figuring out the right path for you with training, education, or job placement support. It's a team effort.
And look at all the stuff they can help with. It's not just one thing. It's the whole shebang. They can help you figure out what you're interested in. They'll help you write a resume, practice for interviews. They can even provide on-the-job coaching to make sure things go smoothly. It's a whole suite of tools to help you succeed. Okay, this is a big one. A lot of people worry about this, so let's just get it out there. You will not suddenly lose your benefits the second you start a job. Both SSI and SSD have these work incentive programs built right in, and they let you ease back into work over time, sometimes years, without just pulling the rug out from under you. It's designed to be a bridge, not a cliff.
Here's another really important term to know: reasonable accommodations. Now, this isn't about getting special treatment. It's about leveling the playing field. These are just sensible, legally protected adjustments that help you perform at your best.
So you might be thinking, what kind of challenges are we talking about here? Well, things that are really common during recovery, right? Like having trouble with concentration or memory or keeping organized. An accommodation could be as simple as getting instructions in writing or having a more flexible schedule or even just working in a quieter spot. It's all about finding practical solutions. All right, we have covered so much ground, from that really personal journey of rediscovering your identity to all the practical steps of building a foundation and looking toward your future. So let's put it all together and just quickly recap the key pillars for your path to recovery. So what are the most important things to take with you from all this? First, you are so much more than a diagnosis. Rediscovering yourself is a huge part of recovery. Second, use the tools that are out there to build a secure foundation. Third, go after your goals, work, school, whatever, and get the support you need. And finally, just remember to be patient with yourself. This whole thing is a process, not a destination.
And that brings us to the end. We've kind of laid out a map here, but the journey, well, that's yours. Whether it's making one phone call, or asking someone for help with a form, or even just deciding to learn a little more, every recovery on Earth starts with a single step. So the real question is, for you, what's your first one going to be?